Welcome back to the evening show. Now, property is still a fairly hot topic in our lives. Maybe we're not as excited about it as we used to be, but we need to know the bad news as well as the good news on it. Now, our barometer, our thermometer in the world of property is back with us. Christina Wilson is here from Wilson Moore Property. You're very welcome back, Christina.
Hello, Jimmy. Great to see you again.
Now, let's come back right up to date. You won a great award in Dublin,
yes,
which
indeed.
we celebrated last time, and you were heading off to Galway for interviews for another potential award. Tell us how that went.
Well, I was shortlisted, Jimmy, to the final 3 for the Network Ireland Businesswoman of the Year. And I actually was in front of the judges last Thursday morning. And yes, a very tough interview panel. Seamus Bree of Enterprise Ireland, a gentleman called Paul Shelley of MSN, and Nicola Brophy of Investec. And they put me through, I tell you, the hoops, but hopefully I did a good job, Jimmy, and hopefully I'll do well for Christina Wilson, Wilson Moore Estate Agents, and of course, Dublin.
Now, you're not just a property expert, you're also a very hot entrepreneur, and that's the kind of thing that they were asking you about. So what
very much so.
Just to help people out who might be aspiring to open their own companies, whatever, what kind of questions were they asking you?
Well, really, I had to give a background on how I got into the business. And you see, I suppose I'm a little bit different because when I got into the property business, Jimmy, I had no contacts at all. I wasn't in a rugby club. I wasn't in a golf club. My daddy or uncle weren't in the estate agency business. So I came in cold, very, very cold. And they were asking me how I achieved that. And how I achieved it was knocking on a lot of doors. And then finally I heard of the company which I first joined, Remax, and I got involved there. But I had to pay them. They didn't pay me.
Really?
Yes, exactly. You pay what's called a desk fee. So that was it. That's how I got into the business.
But could it have been any business, or did you have a particular hankering for property?
I love property, but in fairness, I love sales. You see, I think sales are what it takes. You know, everything, we're selling ourselves every day of the week. And if you're a good salesperson, you know, my forte is property, but I just love sales in general.
So if someone comes in looking for a property to talk to you, they're buying you as well, really, aren't they?
Totally buying the person. Yeah. Yes, and you see, this is it. Before I got into the industry and how Wilson Moore are doing so well, is because I was never that impressed. I used to walk into a lot of offices and there was a bit of arrogance and you'd nearly be putting them out, you know, sort of hello and so on. You have to be eager, enthusiastic. There's nothing better than I like to see in an interview candidate than enthusiasm.
But that enthusiasm you sell to your clients, is there a guarantee, a bond, a trust that goes with that as well?
Trust is equally important. You have to be very straight with them. And as our slogan states, no waffle, just results. Number 1, I don't waffle on. And number 2, we get results. That's how we've achieved what we've achieved in just 4 years. 3 offices, Jamie, expanding in a recession because we do get results. We're very good at what we do.
Well, obviously you spy or keep an eye on the opposition. Are you doing better than most of the opposition?
Well, we're always one step ahead. I think that's what is key, to always be thinking. I can barely sleep in bed at night, Jimmy. I'm always coming up with new ideas for the business. And I think that any entrepreneur out there, you know, watching, you know, that is, you don't become complacent. If you're complacent, you're dead, especially in the times that we're in. And I firmly believe there's massive opportunity at the moment for people who are good, for the performers. If you're a good performer, if you really do get results and you're good at what you do, massive opportunity. So when this dreadful recession ends, we're going to be very well positioned.
Well, the whole economy has stalled a little bit. And as you say, we're still in social recession, which means everybody's hit by this and they're spending.
Yes.
So who are your potential clients? Who are you trying to sell to? Who's buying houses?
There's fantastic value out there, right? Do people want to buy? Yes, they do want to buy because they realize, you know what's going to happen in a few years, Jimmy? People are going to look back and they're going to say, oh my God, why didn't I buy in 2010? Why didn't I, right? Because there is fantastic value out there at the moment. And we're very busy, we're extremely busy. I'm recruiting, I'm looking for more staff. But the key to purchasing a property is just taking your time, selecting the area well, and then looking at a variety of properties. But the main problem they're having, Jimmy, is they can't raise finance. The banks have no money to give out.
Yeah. So what do they do for money?
Well, the banks that are operating predominantly, dare I say it, are AIB, Bank of Ireland and EBS Building Society. So they are looking for custom. I believe Ulster Bank are shortly now going to be coming very much back into the mortgage market as well. So they're the first 4 to contact, and go to them, speak to them before you start phoning us and looking at property. Otherwise, that's just wasting time on all person's parts, you know.
Yeah, so obviously you're the person to see if you're in the business of buying a property. What should you be looking for? Say, you know, dwelling versus apartment, or big, small, any tips?
People have different tastes. I would always say to people, just take your time. Now, of course, with vendors as well who are thinking of selling, and I'd very much like to speak to them if I may. With vendors, they're thinking, is now the time to sell? But if you're trading up, Jimmy, now is the perfect time to move to your ideal area or get your dream home. You might never have the opportunity to do it again. Yeah. So, you know, we actually do free valuations. So anyone out there who wants to know what their property is worth and how long it will take to sell, we'll go out, be with them for maybe 45 minutes, run through everything with them, and tell them exactly how it is.
So apart from the banks, the other problem is that people are still waiting, you know, to see, has it bottomed out? Do you think it has?
It hasn't bottomed out as yet, but we're close. We're very, very close. Yeah. But has it bottomed out? No, it hasn't. I believe, however, you see, I'm an eternal optimist. And there's too much doom and gloom out there. Yeah. A lot of the media don't help it, Jimmy. I'm really afraid to say that.
Deliver the truth.
You know, I actually think that what we need is confidence. We need, and for entrepreneurs out there, not just in the property end of things, across all businesses, it's very tough times. It's very tough times. But I would love to be an inspiration for people out there thinking of getting into business. Do it. Get into business. If you feel you have it in you, you're never going to be happy as an employee anyway. You're always going to want to prove yourself. So that's why the Network Business Awards, the Galway Now Awards, proudly sponsored by Galway Now, thank you. But you know, they're very important because that's a very nice thing to apply for. And I hope I win it on behalf of Wilson Moore, on behalf of myself. And just, it will show entrepreneurs out there that yes, there is potential to do business in this difficult market.
Yeah, there seem to be great innovators out there, and Enterprise Ireland and networks and people trying to help.
Excellent.
Everybody except the banks.
The banks, well, unfortunately, you see, it's a different story to a few years ago, Jimmy.
Yeah, they were throwing money out.
They were throwing it at people. So it's changed totally. And even people in Galway, I believe you have a lot of viewers in Galway. Yeah. Our conference is on Friday the 8th of October in the Galway Bay Hotel.
Right.
And people can look it up on networkireland.com. But I'd say come along. We have one of the best motivational speakers in the world as our keynote speaker, Jack Black of Mind Stores. So yeah, you know, that's good for people who are interested in business as well.
Well, as always, it's a joy to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
We'll see you again very soon, and hopefully things will have bottomed out.
I look forward to seeing it.
Hopefully things will be on the up, or whatever we're looking for. I'm never really sure what we're looking for in the market, but thank you, Christina, for coming in.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You can find out more details on everything the good lady's been talking about on wilsonmoore.ie.